Hi everyone, so this is our presentation on Chapter 13, Supply Chain Process Integration by myself, Haley White, Catherine Weems, and Devonte Wells. So the first thing I would like to point out is our learning objectives. Our first objective is to discuss the overall importance of process integration in supply chain management, describe the advantages of and obstacles to process integration, understand the important issues of internal and external process integration, understand the role played by information systems in creating information visibility along the supply chain, describe the various processes requiring integration along the supply chain, understand the various causes of the bullwhip effect and how they impact process integration, and also discuss the various issues associated with supply chain risk and security. So first, just some foundation before we get started. The ultimate goal of supply chain management is to create value for end customers and firms in the supply chain. This is something that we have talked about all semester long in each chapter, and how the overall goal is to create value for the end user. So firms in the supply chain must integrate processes to achieve this goal. You've all heard the saying, "It takes a village," and it's the same thing in the supply chain. Each role is vital to the overall success of the supply chain. So the term process integration, also sometimes called process collaboration, it means sharing information and coordinating resources to jointly manage a process or processes. In process integration, it requires training, willing and competent partners, trust, organizational culture change. So this is just an example of the supply chain integration model. Not an example, it is a supply chain integration model. And it's just a nice flow chart that kind of, I'm going to obviously talk more in depth about each one, but it just kind of shows you the order of: first you need to identify critical supply chain trading partners, establish sourcing, logistics, supply chain strategies, align these strategies and key process objectives, develop internal performance measures for each of the key processes, assess and improve internal integration of key supply chain processes, develop supply chain performance measures, assess and improve external process integration and supply chain performance, extend process integration to two-tier supply chain partners and beyond, and also reevaluate annually or as required. So, the supply chain management integration model. It first starts out with what we just talked about: identify critical supply chain trading partners. So, what are key trading partners? They are suppliers that have come to be trusted and that provide a large share of the firm's critical products and services. They sell and deliver products to final customers, and they identify primary trading partners, which allows the firm to concentrate on these links. So it's important to find out getting that trust and communication together with your trading partner. 2, review and establish the supply chain strategies for. These policies should be geared towards supporting the overall strategy of the supply chain, which this includes parts purchased and suppliers, shop layout and manufacturing processes, design of the products manufactured, mode of transportation, warranty and return services, employee training methods, and also just the types of information that technology is used. Next is to align supply chain strategies with the key supply chain process objectives. And so there are 8 key supply chain business processes. So the first one is customer relationship management. These are where you identify the customer segments, you tailor the products and service agreements to meet their needs, you measure customer profitability and the firm's impact on the customer. Next is your customer service management. This provides information to customers such as product availability, shipping dates, service agreements, etc. 3 is the demand management. You balance customer demand with the firm's output capacity. 4 is your order fulfillment, meeting customer requirements by synchronizing the firm's market production and distribution plans. Then you have the manufacturing flow management. This is determining manufacturing process requirements to enable the right mix of flexibility. Next is your supplier relationship management, which is managing product and service agreements with suppliers, developing close working relationships with those key suppliers. Product development and commercialization is developing new products frequently and getting them to market effectively. And then returns management, managing used disposition, product recalls, packaging requirements, and really just trying to minimize future returns. 4, we have to develop internal performance measures for key process effectiveness. So this is for firms need to eliminate poor performing suppliers as well as unprofitable customers while concentrating efforts on really developing those key relationships. This is focused obviously on the internal performance. So they should be continuously measured. It's important to find a system that works with the ERP system support these measures. And the firm is able to track progress in each key process. Tracking performance measures is so important for companies to consider what's working and what's not working. Next is to assess and improve the internal integration of supply chain processes, team cooperation across all functions, management support and resources, the ERP system, primary enabler of integration, and also just an understanding of the internal supply chain. 6 is to develop supply chain performance measures for key processes. Monitor with trading partners is key in the supply chain management processes. Trading partners should monitor measures across member firms for each of the supply chain processes. 7, assess and improve external process integration and performance. So I actually hit on this back in number 4, but I meant to talk about it here, where you have to focus your efforts on maintaining those key relationships. Build and maintain relationships. You share knowledge management solutions such as forecast information and new products, as well as expansion plans. And then you extend process integration to the second tier supply chain partners and beyond, really. Radio frequency identification tags. This relays product's location as it moves through the supply chain. So passive RFID tags don't contain internal power. Active RFID tags use battery power and are very expensive. But these are kind of necessary to, be able to track what's happening in the supply chain. So prior to the development of these supply chain applications, integrating processes beyond the first tier suppliers and customers was a lot more difficult and very time consuming. And then finally, you have to reevaluate the integration model annually. Trading partners should revisit the integration model annually for changes within the supply chains, as well as to assess the impact of these on the integration efforts. It's very important that there's so many moving parts, as we know, to supply chain, and just constantly tracking and evaluating the performances of each part is crucial to, as I said in the beginning, making customers satisfied. So Catherine will talk to you about the next step.